Really, really great work that we've seen from the legislature, of course, since the election. Had 2 special sessions and then this regular session. So I don't think we've seen a 6-month stretch that has ever been this productive in the history of our state. And I would put us up against any state in the modern history of our country.
All right, Governor DeSantis riding high following what he called the most productive legislative session in history.
The Republican supermajority essentially approved the governor's checklist of priorities. So let's go through a few of them. We're going to put them on the screen so you can see them as well. A new 6-week abortion ban, permitless carry of concealed firearms, changes to the threshold for jury votes on the death penalty, a measure to incentivize developers to build more affordable homes, and one that would make it more difficult for property owners to sue insurance companies. Those are just some of the bills already signed by the governor. Okay, others that have passed and are just waiting to be signed. An immigration bill requiring companies to use E-Verify, an expansion of the parental rights in education, which, among other things here, bans discussion of instruction, sexual orientation, and gender identity through the 8th grade. Also, a bill to eliminate funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs for public colleges. Joining us now, CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede, host of Facing South Florida. Yes, good morning, Jim. So good to see you. Okay, so let's break down some of these. I want to get to one of the most controversial ones, that being the 6-week abortion ban. That is only going to take effect if the 15-week ban is upheld in the state Supreme Court, which is controlled by conservatives. So it's likely that it will be. That being the case, my question is twofold. One, so when would this take effect? And two, when the Supreme Court allowed the abortion pill to continue, how will that affect all of this?
Good questions. So yes, you are absolutely right. The 6-week abortion ban will only take effect if the state Supreme Court upholds the 15-week abortion ban. So let's remember something real quick. Just 2 years ago, the limit in abortion in the state of Florida was 24 weeks. Then last year, they lowered it to 15 weeks. And at the time, they said, okay, that's it. We just want to go to 15 weeks. We think that's a fair compromise, the Republicans said. So this is where we're going to be. We're going to be at 15 weeks. Well, that wasn't good enough for the governor and some conservatives in the legislature, and so they went with a 6-week abortion ban. And we have to wait for the state Supreme Court. Now, yes, you are correct. The state Supreme Court is a conservative court that has mainly been appointed by DeSantis. However, Florida's Constitution is unique in that it does have privacy protections that some people believe do protect a woman's right to choose an abortion. So we will have to wait and see on that. But if they do approve the 15-week abortion ban, then suddenly the 6-week abortion ban immediately kicks in. So, you know, it's a little bit of a dance right now with the state Supreme Court. And to the question of the abortion pill, you know, my guess is you're going to start seeing legislation at the local level potentially in the months ahead or next year that could also limit the ability of residents in Florida to receive that through the mail. Now, whether or not that's constitutional remains to be seen. But you can expect, because again, as you noted in the setup, that the governor is running for president. He hasn't formally announced. An announcement is expected in the next couple of weeks that he will continue to hit this issue, particularly as he heads into states like Iowa. Yeah.
But Jim, another hot button issues. In fact, we've been talking about this morning, and it affects millions of people, millions and millions of people across the state. Over the past couple of years, we've seen insurance companies really jack up the rates for home insurance, and that was get people to drop them so they could leave the state. Was this discussed? What legislation is coming out of this past session, and is it really helpful in the immediate future?
So the short answer is not much and not for a while. So one of the things that you talked about in the setup was the ability make it harder for homeowners to sue insurance companies. There is a belief, and there's some basis for it, that one of the reasons why insurance rates are so high in Florida is because of all the litigation here. We have more litigation over insurance than any other state in the country. In fact, it's upwards of 60 to 70% of all lawsuits related to insurance take place in the state of Florida. As a result, they believe, the insurance companies have said, if you protect us, if you keep the the public from being able to sue us in a discriminatory manner or in a way that just seems willy-nilly, well, then we can bring rates down. Now, that's a promise that I'm not sure a lot of insurance companies are going to meet. Essentially, the insurance company told the state legislature, trust us. If you protect us from lawsuits, we'll bring the rates down. Well, the legislature has now protected them to some extent from lawsuits. Will the rates come down? I'm suspicious, you know, but really what you're trying to do is invite more insurance companies into the state to compete because, as Keith, you mentioned, a lot of insurance companies left the state because they don't want to do business here because of lawsuits. That
competition will definitely drive prices down. We are simply out of time, Jim. We, of course, appreciate your information insight, and I'm with you on the just trust us, that suspect. All right, thank you.